Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the basic information regarding mutual fund. Now this video is not a very advanced or in-depth knowledge about mutual fund. We will only be discussing about the basic features and the functions of a mutual fund. So for all those who do not know what is a mutual fund, let us first discuss about what mutual fund basically is. So let me first ask you a question. Have you ever considered investing in stocks, shares or debenture? Or you have come across a news that a particular stock is performing well or the Sensex is going high, and you think that how wonderful it would be that if you can also invest in stock, but since you do not have any exposure of mutual fund or you do not have any exposure of investing in stock market, you are apprehensive to invest in the stock market or in the market of securities. Now, this is the place where the role of mutual fund comes in. Basically, mutual funds helps you in investing in stocks. They have a group of experts that advise you, that helps you to invest if you are a new or a beginner in the stock market. So basically, mutual fund is a group of experts who render their services to those individuals who do not have any exposure about the stock market. So today we'll go and see into the basic details of the mutual fund. So today we'll talk about general topics like what is the role of capital market in an economy. You see, it is very important for the citizen of any country to invest in the stock market. We will look in the next slide that why it is important for an individual to invest in the stock market. The second point that we will discuss that why the people are not investing in the capital market, and then we will see that how does mutual fund help the investors to invest in the stock market. So here we have a two-sector economy, as you can see, the household sector and the firm sector. And here, if you see the household sector, they channelize their savings into the financial market, and from where this is the market from where the firms get their capital to start their business. They establish manufacturing units, factory, and then they produce goods and services. These goods and services are being sold to the household, and they receive the payment from the household. Also, the household provide the factor services like land, labor, capital, entrepreneur to the firm, and for which they get the factor payments in the form of wages, interest, rent, and profit. So you see the entire ball of economy rolls around the financial market. And if the investment in the financial market is very less, the economy will not develop as a whole. Therefore, the government of any country, they wants to encourage the individuals to put their savings into the financial market and purchase shares, debentures, and other financial instruments by which the ball of economy will keep on rolling. Another very important question is that why do people not invest in capital market? You see, first of all, due to lack of exposure. If we talk about our country, India, we know that our stock market is not fully developed. Still, the people are apprehensive. The individuals and the investors, they are not comfortable investing in the stock market, and they want to keep their money into the banks as for the purpose of safety. So, there is a lack of exposure in our country regarding investment in the stock market. Then next point, there is a lack of risk-taking ability among our individuals, because you see, our people in our country, they are basically poor and they do not have the risk-taking appetite. Therefore, they want to keep their money into the bank and generate only a small amount of returns to their savings, but their main purpose is to keep their money safe, and they do not want to take the risk in investing into the stocks. Also, the people in our country, they lack adequate funds that they can invest in the stock market. So therefore, the investment in the capital market is less. You see, in all these three scenarios, the role of mutual fund becomes more and more important, because the mutual fund, actually um, helps the people to invest in the stock market, and they take care of these three basic problems that our country people have in investing in the stock market. Now let us look into the basic definition about the mutual fund. As I already told you, that mutual fund is a group of individuals who specializes in financial investment, and they render their services to the investor who have little or no knowledge about the capital market, and they are willing to invest in it. So mutual fund helps those individuals who want to invest in the stock market by giving their services, and for rendering these services, they charge a small amount of commission. These group of experts are known as AMC, Asset Management Committee, or Asset Management Company. In some cases, it is also known as Asset Management Company. So these group of individuals, they are a vital part of the organization of the mutual fund, and they are the main, game player of the mutual fund. They pool the money of the investor as a gross fund. So let me tell you one thing, that you must know that mutual fund is not an individual investment, it's an investment of group of people. And what does the mutual fund do? The mutual fund basically group those funds, or they make a pool of those funds, and as a one single pool, it is invested into the stock market. To render their services, they charge money in the form of commission. Such commissions are charged as entry load and exit load. So what do the mutual fund get? Mutual fund get commissions. Commissions are, can be categorized under two heads: entry load and exit load. Entry load is basically the money or the commission that is charged at the time of the beginning when you invest in the mutual fund. Exit load is when you want to exit from the mutual fund. At that time, a small amount of commission is being charged. So that is known as an exit load. One thing more that needs to be addressed here, that any mutual fund, when you go to purchase, so you will have to ask for new fund offer, NFO. You cannot just go directly and purchase a mutual fund like that. There has to be a new fund offer or new opening, which the company or mutual fund company is offering to the public at large. So, and any mutual fund which you purchase, it comes in the name of NFO, that is new fund offer. Now, this is the organization of mutual fund, and you see at the top we have sponsors. Sponsors are those individuals who take the initiative to start the mutual fund. So, as in case of promoter, in the case of company, we have sponsor in mutual funds. We do not have promoters in mutual fund. So these sponsors only, you can call them promoters, because they are the one who are the torch bearers of the mutual fund. Then we have trustee or board of trustee. Board of trustee comes in the second line. This board of trustees are formed by sponsor, because whenever you have to make a mutual fund organization, it has to be under the Trust Act 1882 of the Indian Trust Act, because the mutual fund will not be a company, because that is one of the statutory requirement. So it has to be under the Trust Act. Then we have the mutual fund, that is the collective fund of all the individuals, and transfer agents we have. So transfer agents are basically the people who run the office. So they keep a record of all the applications, they keep a record of all the payments of dividends and other official records. Then after we have custodian. You see, because mutual fund is a business that is that involves an aggressive buying and selling of shares. So a lot of shares certificates has to be kept under proper supervision and the proper security. So for that very reason, there has to be a custodian that will look into the security aspect of the of all those securities, shares and debentures and all those financial assets. So custodian is the person who is in charge of keeping all those share certificate, debentures and other financial security that has been purchased. Then we have assets management company. Assets management company, as I already told you, they are the main players in the mutual fund organization. They are the one who has got the expertise in investing in the stock market, and they basically invest into the securities on behalf of the investors. Then we have unit holders. The unit holders are those individuals who have invested in the stock market. And then SEBI is the regulatory authority of a mutual fund. So this is the um, uh, organization hierarchy, or you can say organization chart of a mutual fund. Now, another very important question to know is that what are the advantages of mutual fund? You see, first of all, the first very obvious advantage is professionally managed fund. So you have somebody who is taking care of your money, who is investing your money into the stock market, and the person who is investing the money into the stock market, he himself is expertise in this field. So you get a professionally expertise person who is taking care of your money 24/7. So that is one of the greatest advantage of mutual fund. Then after, you have small investment requirement. Unlike if you directly go into the stock market and invest in the stock market, you will require a huge amount of money to be invested, because some of the stocks are very expensive in some of the cases. So, but that's not the mandatory requirement of investing in mutual fund. Mutual fund can be started with a very small amount. That is one of the beauty of the mutual fund. So even if you do not have big saving, then also you can start investing in the mutual fund. Next is diversification. Whenever your money is invested in the share market, is not specifically invested in a particular share, but a basket of a portfolio is being constituted and constructed by investing your money into different shares of different companies. So that leads to reduction in the risk. So how does it help in reduction in the risk? In case if one company is sustaining a loss, the other company is not mandatory that other company will also sustain a loss. So because your funds have been invested in many different companies, so of course if one company will earn some loss, the other company will recoup that loss from its profit. So the chances of loss is minimized, or it is mitigated. Then next, liquidity. These mutual funds, now we have exchange traded fund. It can be your mutual fund can be sold in just one click of your button from the computer. So if you have opted for an exchange traded fund, so at any moment you can sell that fund and you can get your money back. So it is also helpful in maintaining a liquidity of the investors. Then we have tax benefits. You see, some of the mutual funds, they have tax benefit attached to it. So there are certain relaxation under section 80C for a particular kind of investment in the mutual funds. So you also get tax benefit if that benefit is attached to that particular mutual fund. Quick performance review. You can always check the NAV, that is net asset value of your mutual fund, and you can see how good your mutual fund is performing. Ease of use. To invest in mutual fund, you do not need to have any knowledge about investment. Just you go, fill the form, and your investment starts. So it is easy to start. There are certain disadvantages also. There are high commission charges. Some of the mutual fund have locking period, and dilution of the profit in some case, because when the risk is minimized by diversification, also the chances of earning very high profit is also diluted. So it reduces the chance of earning very high profit, but however you will get a decent profit from the investment in the mutual fund. Now, what are the types of mutual fund? That's a very interesting question that I would love to answer. You see, when you go to any of the authorized dealer or any window from where you can purchase mutual fund, so there are so many mutual fund, and you may get actually lost that which mutual fund is good, what does this mutual fund mean, or what does that mutual fund mean. So Today we will discuss only about the categories of the mutual fund. You see, the mutual fund will only come under these four broad categories. The first category is according to the capital. You see, there may be many names of the mutual fund, but they will fall under any one of these categories that we are discussing right now. First is the equity fund. Equity fund basically means that if you opt for a mutual fund which is an equity based fund, so your entire money will be invested only in equity shares. That means the mutual fund will not purchase any debenture or money market instrument. The total money will be invested in the equity shares. The shares or the companies will be decided by the asset management company. Debt funds. Now, if we talk about the equity fund, another big question is that who should go for equity fund? Only those people should go for equity fund who does not want to invest its emergency funds into the stock market. So equity funds are those funds that only those investors should invest who have high risk taking appetite. Then second, we have debt funds. Debt funds basically contains of investment in debenture and bonds, and these funds are quite they are not risky. They have a guaranteed return. So basically, those people who have small savings would like to invest in debt funds. Then money market funds, we have money market is also a debt fund, but it is a short-term debt funds. So again, those individuals who want to invest for short-term period can opt for money market fund. Then we have a hybrid fund which we call a balanced fund. So what is a balanced fund? Balanced fund basically is a mix of equity funds and debt fund. So depending upon your personal taste and preferences, you can allocate your money in proportion in equity fund and debt funds. I mean, it can be 50% in equity and 50% in debt. It can be 40% in equity and 60% in debt. So depending upon the risk-taking ability of an individual, you can also create your own kind of mutual fund and own, kind of a fund which we call a balanced fund. Then we have according to the sector. So mutual fund can be investment in the sectors or sectorial fund which we call. So the money is invested in the different sectors of the economy, like pharmacy sector, banking sector, textile sector, telecom sector. So suppose if you think that pharmaceutical sector is doing good in a particular time, so you would want to purchase a mutual fund that will allow you to invest only into pharmaceutical sector. So that is known as sectorial mutual funds. Then we have indexes also. So you can invest the mutual fund as per the particular index. So there are investments like BSE 30, NSE 50 or S&P 500. So based on the index performance, the mutual fund can also be categorized as investment in different categories of indexes that are being created by the indexing committees. At present in India, we have Standard and Poor, S&P indexing committee. So they create their own indexes. And mutual fund also invests their money on these indexes. Then according to the income, some of the investor might be interested to invest only in those companies who have a history of paying regular dividends. So on the basis of that, they can invest their money into mutual fund who has a history of paying regular dividends. These are some types of mutual fund that are very much popular into the market. The first type of mutual fund that is very popular is a large cap fund. So large cap here basically means large capitalization. So these are big companies. The returns or the share prices are quite stable in these companies, so the chances of losses are quite less. But again, it comes with a cost that the growth potential is also very low. Then we have mid-cap company. Mid-cap means medium capitalization. Medium capitalization companies are those companies who is at a medium level of investments. So these companies have a growth potential also, and they are more stable also. So once you invest in mid-cap company, the chances of losses are a bit low. So you can opt for funds that will, your financial advisor will ask you that if you would like to invest in mid-cap companies, so you can purchase mutual fund which will invest in mid-cap. Then small cap, just like large cap and mid-cap, means small capitalizations. So small capitalization means a company which is small company. These type of investments are very risky because they are new company. We don't never know how the company is going to perform. Therefore, if you are purchasing the mutual fund that will invest in small cap companies, so your risk level will also be very high. So you have to be, you have to be very cautious while selecting your plan, whether you want to go for a large cap plan or a mid cap plan or a small cap plan. Then we have dividend yield funds. So these are the funds these are the money which are invested in those companies who have a history of paying regular dividends. So like somebody who is retired from his job and he wants a regular stream of income, would like to invest in a plan which will give him a regular income. Then we have contra funds. Contra funds are basically those companies who have a high earning capacity, but they are not recognized in the market. The people do not know about them. It has not captured the market yet, but still the financial analysts have done extensive research and they know that these companies have a growth potential. So such companies are known as contra funds. So then we have growth funds. Funds are those small cap companies who are performing very well and they are likely to earn high profit, but again there is a chances of high risk and high gain. Then we have ETF. ETF stands for exchange traded funds. Exchange traded funds are those funds which are invested in mutual funds which are traded in the stock market just like any shares. So you can directly purchase this ETF from the stock market. Online it can be purchased. Then we have ELSS, that is equity linked saving scheme. So equity linked saving schemes are those saving schemes which have a tax benefit attached to it. So these are some types of mutual fund. However, there can be so many mutual funds, but they will come in either of one of these categories. So that has to be understood. Lastly, how do you evaluate the performance of a mutual fund? The performance of the mutual fund will be evaluated on the basis of NAV, that is net assets value. So there is a formula how to calculate the net asset value for any NFO. The net asset value will be equal to the total fund invested in an NFO minus the total fund liabilities divided by the total number of outstanding shares. Here it is written total number of outstanding shares, but actually it is divided by the total number of units outstanding. So what is the difference between shares and units? Basically, there is a slight difference between shares and units. I mean, one share can be divided into several units. Suppose the cost of one share is 10,000 rupees and 4 persons might have together pooled up their money to purchase that one share for 10,000 rupees. So that means one share is divided into 4 units. So that is how you calculate the NAV, and NAV will basically tell you about the performance, how your mutual fund is performing. So that's all from my side. I hope you would have gained some knowledge. So these were some very basic information about the mutual fund. So thank you for being with me.